Assalamu alaikum. Today we will study about the classification of proteins on the basis of their molecular shapes. According to their shapes, proteins are classified into two types. One is the fibrous proteins and the other is the globular proteins. So first we will discuss about the fibrous proteins. Now what are fibrous proteins? These proteins are those which have thread-like structures. The molecules of these proteins lie side by side to form fibers. The polypeptide chains are held together by hydrogen bonds and they are insoluble in water, dilute acids and bases. जैसा हम देखते हैं कि बाल है तो हेयर क्या है? फाइब्रस प्रोटीन है, तो डिज़ोल्व होता क्या पानी में? नहीं. सो नेल्स, स्किन ये भी डिज़ोल्व नहीं होता पानी में. सो दे आर इनसॉल्युबल इन वाटर, डाइल्यूट एसिड्स एंड बेसिस एंड दे डू नॉट possess biological activity. Let us take certain examples and understand them. Myosin is an example of the fibrous protein which is present in muscles. The next protein, that is the keratin, it is present in hair, nails and skin. The next protein is fibrin which is present in silk. Another example of fibrous protein is collagen which is present in tendons. Let us study about the globular proteins now. Globular proteins are the proteins which are folded to form spherical shape and they have intramolecular hydrogen bonding and they have weak intermolecular forces as compared to the fibrous proteins. Fibrous proteins में fibers के जैसे रहता और ग्लोबुलर प्रोटीन्स में कैसे रहता? स्फेरिकल शेप रहता प्रोटीन्स का. ग्लोबुलर प्रोटीन्स आर soluble in water and aqueous solutions of acids, bases and salts. और हमने देखे थे कि फाइब्रस प्रोटीन्स क्या है? insoluble in water. And globular proteins, they possess biological activity and they help to regulate and maintain life process. Let us see some examples of globular proteins. Now hormones like insulin from pancreas. Then we have thyroglobulin from thyroid glands. Hemoglobin which is present in blood and albumin which is present in eggs. These are the examples of globular proteins. Let us briefly summarize and revise the difference between fibrous proteins and globular proteins. Fibrous proteins, they have thread-like structure, whereas globular proteins, they have coiled and spherical structure. Fibrous proteins, they are insoluble in water and globular proteins, they are soluble in water. Then the fibrous proteins, they do not possess any biological activity, whereas the globular proteins, they possess biological activity. Then the examples of fibrous proteins, that is myosin, keratin, fibrin and collagen. Whereas the example of globular proteins are insulin, thyroglobulin, hemoglobin and albumin. इंसुलिन के अंदर 51 अमाइनो एसिड्स हैं और ये एग्जाम्पल है ग्लोबुलर प्रोटीन का. और जो फाइब्रस प्रोटीन्स रहते हैं उसमें क्या है? हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स एंड डाइसल्फाइड बॉन्ड्स आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर देयर long thread-like structure. और globular proteins में the spherical shape is due to the coiling around of the polypeptide chain of protein.